Okay, you're gonna like this one. Cue the temperature TikTok.
That's because all of these three different scales are measuring temperature in reference to a different thing.
I really thought explaining temperature scales was not going to be controversial, but just wait.
Kelvin scale sets 0 at absolute 0. You can't get any colder. 0 is as cold as you could get, and everything else is more heat than that. Celsius is measuring in reference to water. Water freezes at 0 and it boils at 100. Everything else in the middle is where liquid water can exist.
Alright. Fairly non-controversial so far. Though man, when I was on my old Android, the video quality wasn't great.
Finally, we have Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit is measured in relation to safety to human beings. 0 degrees Fahrenheit is when you start risking serious damage to yourself without special insulating equipment. And 100 degrees Fahrenheit is when you start risking serious damage to yourself without special cooling equipment.
Boy, did that get people's hackles up. A lot of people pointed out that that wasn't the origin of Fahrenheit, and I know I wasn't talking about the origin. I was talking about its practical use today. The origin of Fahrenheit comes from basically a brine solution made out of water and ammonium chloride. The freezing temperature of that was 0. And 90 degrees was supposed to be about the average human body temperature. Though again, the motivation behind this was because if the average human body temperature was 90 degrees, if you go much higher, it gets dangerous. And the ammonium chloride solution was a temperature below the freezing point of water, which Fahrenheit knew people could survive at. But this was just the prototype for Fahrenheit. He refined the scale based on the works of Ole Reimer, the same person who first quantitatively measured the speed of light. Reimer had a scale where water freezed at 0 degrees and boiled at 60 degrees. Fahrenheit ended up multiplying these values by 4 to eliminate fractions in common measurements. He then recalibrated it so that the freezing point of water would be at 32 and average human body temperature would be at 96 degrees, because this puts them 64 degrees apart. And 64 is just 2 to the 6th power, which means the divisions between these 2 points on a thermometer were very easy to mark. He then later redefined it again so that the boiling point of water was 212 degrees, separating the freezing point and boiling point by 180, again making divisions easy to mark on a thermometer. And this increased average human body temperature to 98.6. But still, the motivations for Fahrenheit from the very beginning were to make it easy to read, and to make it a human-centric temperature scale.
Fahrenheit is measured in relation to humans, Celsius is measured in relation to water, and Kelvin is measured in relation to the fundamental laws of our universe.
And boy did this make people angry! Tons of Celsius stands saying that Fahrenheit makes no sense. Tons of Fahrenheit stands yelling at the Celsius stand saying that human-centric temperature makes perfect sense. Tons of people shouting, what about Rankine? No one cares about Rankine and you know it. That video got 1.9 million views. People take temperature very seriously, I guess.